Hello, welcome to the program, Bring It On. Wow, you know, the end seems very far for the unending crisis rocking Nigeria's People's Democratic Party, the PDP. It will be recalled that the ruling party last month suspended Sokoto State Governor Aliyu Wamako for alleged anti-party activities, while his Rivers State counterpart, Governor Rotimi Amechi, was also suspended for his insistence on contesting the Nigerian Governors Forum chairmanship election against the wish of the party and maybe the presidency. You know, the gulf of the crisis of interest is widening as we currently have two Governors Forum chairmen, you know, from the same political party, that is the PDP. While the acclaimed chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, Rotimi Amechi, has fixed a meeting with all 36 state governors for Wednesday, June 26. The president, also has fixed a midterm dinner with the governors at the same time, you know, in the same town, that is talking about Abuja. And this is the height of the division that has become of the biggest political party in Africa. How will all of this play out in the days, months, and perhaps the years to come as we continue our democratic journey? Your guess is as good as mine. Today on the program, we will take a look at the PDP and internal democracy. You can join us on our social media, Facebook and UCOS. Post your comments on www.ucos.com/group Bring It On LP. You can also join us on UCOS. That's www.ucos.com/group/Bring It On LP. I have two eminent guests here with me today. I have first, sitting very close to me here, my friend. He is a legal practitioner and a public affairs analyst, Mr. Moses Bamisheye. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And also joining us today is the Southeast Forum chairman. Is the chairman of the Southeast Forum and, of course, chairman Conference of Nigerian Political Parties, Lagos State Chapter. And that is talking about Mr. Austin Onorom. Mr. Austin, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Wow, it's good to have you here. We are looking at the PDP, that is the People's Democratic Party, Nigeria's ruling party, and so much conflict going on right now within the PDP, talking about conflict of interest. What does all of this portend for the party, as it were, and of course, Nigeria as a nation? Mr. Onorom.
Well, the crisis, or so-called crisis, we see today in PDP is not new. Okay. It's not one that we can say is different from things we had before now seen in the party itself. Okay. I can recollect that from the inception of the party to this particular period, we have had crises that, of course, ordinarily look as similar as this. Okay. And sometimes you begin to wonder and say, look, one crisis is going to get worse than maybe the other one. And somehow the crisis is a continuum in that party. It's most unfortunate, very, very unfortunate, when we begin to talk about the nature of the crisis and what it portends, you understand, for our own democracy. Because when you look at issues that border on the disagreements they have, there are things ordinarily that should be ordinarily a disgrace and a shame, all right, to a nation, considering the place of PDP in the country. This is a party that is controlling over 20 states. This is a party that is controlling the government at the top and has been in power since 1999 till date. Yes. And then the one begins to wonder, all right, why the country since 1999 has not gotten it right. Because when this crisis happened, the crisis obviously will affect
the nation.
The nation.
Exactly.
The crisis will affect the nation, and it's just a pity that these things are happening. And as we speak right now, you don't even understand what tomorrow holds. You don't understand what the future holds.
Anyway.
And we expect more of the
Yes,
crisis.
Yes, indeed. Well, I agree with you, because when you look at the play out of activities in the recent weeks and days, you would understand what Mr. Onorum is talking about. But to you, Moses, what's all this? What does it portend? What's your own understanding, and what do you see?
I think the issue of internal democracy within PDP is not just PDP alone.
Okay.
It goes across all the political parties.
Okay.
While that of PDP seems to be more pronounced, is that it's the biggest party and is the ruling party.
Exactly.
And when there is this saying that out of every 12 there is a Judas.
Okay.
So if from a 12 you have one Judas, and from 144 you have 12 Judases, what the 12 will do will be much more in number than what one will do. So invariably, we'll have more impact because of the size and number. Okay. However, when it comes to going down through most of the political parties, they all lack this internal democracy. And that's why we see if we can't get it right at the party level, we shouldn't expect to get it right at the national or federal level, because it is, there's this saying that it is what you do internally or in the house that you take outside. You exhibit what you have internally outside.
Yes.
So what we're seeing in the rolling of this nation is just exhibition of what we've been doing. And you will discover that our human rights record is nothing to write home about. Okay. Most of the indices that shows a democratic nation are nothing to write. I mean, they are nothing to write home about. And it's the reason is not far-fetched. Where we should get this problem sorted out and solved, we have not done anything as regards that area.
I want to be sincere in my own opinion. I don't think I should look at the PDP as a role model for bad democracy or bad democratic attitudes, okay? I want to look at it that we have this problem all over Africa, okay? Yeah. And I have an analogy just to tell you, out of respect for my people. I'm a Nigerian too, and in 1992-93, I was the chairman for NRC, National Republican Convention then, for Lagos Mainland local government. And I had the opportunity of meeting with a German man who actually was working on the aircraft for the former President Abacha. He was an engineer. I went to his house during that time of the June 12 crisis, and I just went to pay him a visit, and he said, "George, what are you people doing with all these problems in your country?" I said, "Mr. Grottenberg, what's your problem about this?" He said, "Let me tell you something. I have a story to tell you about how God created the world, and listen carefully." I said, "Okay, fine." He said, when God was about to create the world, out of due respect to all Christians, he said, he called Peter and told Peter, "Look, that bag there has the mineral resources I want to put on every land in all the nations of the world. Pick up the bag and follow me." And so they started designing the maps of all nations. And when he got to the last nation, which was Nigeria, the bag was still half full. And then he told Peter, "Peter, drop it here." And Peter said, "Oh, Papa, we can't do that. Because if we do that, it's too much for the nation." And he told Peter, he said, "Why don't you shut up, you little children? What do you know? Wait and see the kind of people I'm going to put there."
Too bad. We really need to move forward in this country. We really need to make progress. And like Moses said, and George agrees with him, take away impunity and immunity. And of course, you find out that things will begin to change in our country. We've been looking at the internal democracy within the People's Democratic Party, that's the ruling party in Nigeria. And we know that in the days to come, they will surely find their footings. They will surely get over this crisis, as it were. And George said at the beginning, several crises, but we know that the political parties, they get stronger by the day. Thank you so much for joining us. That's the much we can have on this program today. Join us again same time next week when we look at another issue in our society. Thank you so much. Until then, bye-bye now.